Hello and welcome to this course on Terraform for Cloud Engineers. My name is Rohit and I'll be your instructor for this course. Basically, yesterday I started a kind of series on Google Cloud Platform, and I have received multiple requests, messages from the cloud engineers or like-minded people to also create something on Terraform, because nowadays Terraform is a must. You should know Terraform, as industries, they are just adopting Terraform instead of configuring resources using the web console. So yeah, I just thought to run the series of GCP and Terraform in parallel, so that whatever things we'll be learning in GCP in the console side, we'll try to formulate it using Terraform parallelly. So thanks for all of your suggestions. If I talk about this course, we'll be getting started with Terraform. But first, we'll take a look at infrastructure as a code, or IAC, and the different types of tools available in the market for IAC and their purpose. Also in this video, we are going to see what is Terraform, why we need Terraform, how we can set up Terraform in Windows as such. So let's get started. So this slide is more like a kind of introduction to Terraform or DevOps model as such. The first bullet point says Terraform is an infrastructure provisioning tool and not configuration management or application deployment tool as such. So as you know, Terraform is becoming popular for infrastructure provisioning, and in the market there are different provisioning tools are available. But why Terraform is popular? Because Terraform works on hundreds of providers. It's human readable, the syntax is quite easy, and industry is really adopting Terraform in all the ways for infrastructure management. Nowadays, the management of infrastructure is using software rather than physically managing the racks, cables, and hardwares. Everything is almost an API to manage the infrastructure, which is the new modern way of doing the things. On the screen, we can see these are the type of IAC tools, I would say. Infrastructure as a code tools, and these tools are divided into various categories. If you could see, one is the configuration management, which consists of Ansible, Puppet, SaltStack, and there are many in the market, but these are the popular ones. If you further talk about server templating tools, we have Docker, Packer, and HashiCorp Vagrant. And which part we are interested in this courses would be the provisioning tools, I would say. So if you see the third one, which is mentioned over here on the slide, is provisioning tools, which consists of Terraform. This is CloudFormation, basically used in AWS cloud. In case if companies are not having Terraform, then AWS have their own infrastructure provisioning tool, which is CloudFormation. Similarly, we have infrastructure provisioning tool in GCP, which is called as Cloud Deployment Manager. But if you see the need for Terraform, because let's say suppose Terraform works with all the providers, right? And if a company is using CloudFormation, then we need to have engineers who is skilled in CloudFormation. And let's say suppose companies on multi-cloud, companies having AWS and GCP, then you need engineers who are skilled in CloudFormation, also engineers who knows Cloud Deployment Manager. But let's say suppose if that company is opting for Terraform, then you just need a single engineer with a skill of Terraform, and he should be able to work with AWS or GCP or Azure as such. Now coming back to the configuration management tool, which we have mentioned, which are like Ansible, Puppet, SaltStack. SaltStack falls into this category. Basically, these are commonly used to install and manage software on existing infrastructure resources, such as servers, databases, networking devices, etc. And if we talk about server templating tools, like Docker, Packer, Vagrant falls into this category as we discussed. So these are the tools, basically like Docker, Vagrant, and Packer is from HashiCorp, that can be used to create a custom image of a virtual machine or a container. So the most important thing for server templating model is these images already contains all the required softwares and dependencies installed on them. So this eliminates the need of installing software after a VM or container is deployed. And finally, we have provisioning tools, which we are more interested to discuss. The provisioning tools such as Terraform, CloudFormation, and Deployment Manager. These tools are used to provision infrastructure component using a simple declarative code. And these infrastructure components can range from servers such as virtual machines, databases, VPCs, subnets, security groups, storage, and many more PaaS services, IaaS services as such. And what is the disadvantage of only having a CloudFormation is like CloudFormation is specifically used to deploy services in AWS. And Cloud Deployment Manager is again similar. It is used to deploy resources in GCP. So, in short, Cloud Deployment Manager cannot deploy resources on AWS and CloudFormation cannot deploy resources on GCP. So the solution on top of this problem is the Terraform, which is a vendor-agnostic tool and supports provider plugins for almost all the major cloud providers like Azure, AWS, GCP, Oracle Cloud, and many more. So let's move on to the next slide. Here we're going to see the use cases of Terraform. So why industry is adopting Terraform as such. So in production or in the industries who are using Terraform as such, it is recommended for production environment to deploy the resources using Terraform. And you'll not get a kind of console access to deploy the resources. You might get a read-only access to see what are all things in place, but everything is as an infrastructure as a code. So if everything is an infrastructure as a code and if you're using Terraform, it is like one code syntax, one workflow for any of your infrastructure, whether it's on multi-cloud like GCP or Azure or GCP or AWS. As I mentioned, it's a kind of infrastructure as a code, so deployments are quite faster. You just have to write down the code once and you can deploy it in multiple environments, or you can use it for multiple customers. Just rename or change few of the parameters, variables, modules, etc., depending on the need. So deployment is quite faster. So imagine a situation where you have to deploy hundreds of VM for customers, and if you do it manually, it will take ages, at least a couple of days to have it in place, and you can just write down a Terraform configuration file for that and have it in very less time. So Terraform depends or opens a door on the API front because that's quite important for your automation as such. And Terraform creates reusable modules which can be leveraged by multiple teams for creating resources. Terraform is quite intelligent. If you make changes in the console or in the web console manually, and Terraform is quite intelligent, it has capability of destroying manual changes while performing the plan stage or apply stage as such. It reduces the configuration drift. This is again an important point. So let's move on to the next topic, which is like installing Terraform on Windows. So as I mentioned, in industries for production environments in an organization which they are using Terraform, it is always recommended to create resources using Terraform rather than using manual steps or using the cloud console. Now, the first and the most important thing is infrastructure as a code. What exactly infrastructure as a code is? Infrastructure as a code is nothing but, instead of creating resources from the console, you'll be creating configuration file for your infrastructure creation and execute that configuration file using the different infrastructure as a code tool. So in market, as I mentioned previously, there are different infrastructure as a code tools are available. One of the popular tool is Terraform. And in this video, we'll see how we can install Terraform on Windows. And before we started off with this installation, some of the basic things or knowledge about Terraform is created by HashiCorp organization, and it is for both cloud as well as on-prem. And you can create infrastructure for multiple cloud providers, like you can create resources for AWS Cloud, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, using the different providers given by HashiCorp as such. Let's move on to how we can install Terraform on Windows. So before I just click on this link, I just wanted to show you whether currently Terraform is installed in my laptop or not, and how we can check that. Just run a command, terraform --version, or maybe just run Terraform. So it says Terraform is not recognized as an internal or external command. That means we don't have Terraform installed yet. And how are we going to do that? So let me just click on this link real quick. So this is the official link of HashiCorp. You can see it's like developer.hashicorp.com, and I will be sharing this document so you don't have to take snaps or bookmark or try and do anything right now. You can do it later once you see this video, and I'll be putting that document link in the description or maybe in the comment section, just so that you can have this handy. So what this document says is like install Terraform. So might you have observed the operating system for which Terraform supports as of today is macOS, Windows, Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, Solaris. And again, this is really important from Terraform exam point of view. You may get a question like, and you just remember which operating systems Terraform is supported. If I go down, binary download for macOS, we are not looking out for it. So let me select the operating system as Windows first. And if I just click on download, and if I just go to desktop and hit save, it can take some time. So my download is almost done. And if I go back and see on my desktop, so I do see a kind of zip file. Let me extract here. So we do see a Terraform exe after the extraction. And let me see if I go to the CMD now, and if I go to the desktop, because I have pasted that exe file on desktop. And now if I run Terraform -- version, let's see what happens. If it's taking time, means something is good. Oh, yeah, we do see Terraform version 1.6.1 on Windows AMD. Let me do one thing. Let me just change my path from desktop to, maybe let's go back. And let's go back to the demo folder. CD. I'm just trying to go to this folder, guys. Yeah, and if I just hit Terraform -- version now, let's see what happens. So it says Terraform is not recognized. So if you have noticed, we have pasted this exe on the desktop, and if I again go to the desktop now and hit Terraform -- version, it will run. And to solve this issue, you need to set the environment variables as such for this step. So if I just go to my Windows and search for environment variables, if I just go to path, edit it, and add a new path as such. So let me go over here, desktop, and just let me just remove demo and keep it desktop because my exe was on desktop. Let me just hit on save, and let's see. Just close the old command prompts and open a new one. Let me go to desktop folder first to see if Terraform -- version is working there. And we see yes. And now let's go to the demo folder, which is this, which previously was not working. And now we have those environments variable in place, Terraform -- version, and it should work over here as well. Cool. So this was an introductory video for you guys, which gives information about Terraform and how you can install Terraform on Windows. So thanks so much for watching. In case if you have any queries, you can just put down in your comments section on my video, and I'll try to answer those as such. And if you find this information helpful, let me know down in the comment section, and hit the like button because that keeps me motivated to create some new content for you guys. Thank you so much for watching.